Ours is a digital world. We not only use computers, we rely on them. But long before Bill Gates and Microsoft, before Steve Jobs and Apple, there was another man and another company. He began his career when one computer filled an entire room and consumed enough electricity to power over 100 households. A machine behind glass walls, tended by a squad of priest-like specialists. He started a computer company that changed all of that, making computers smaller, less expensive, and more accessible. He understood that computers would change the way we think, work, and interact with each other. And though he gained the attention of the prominent, he cherished his relationships with his employees even more. Employees who still get together for reunions, even though years have passed since the company closed its doors. He was an inventor, an innovator, America's most successful entrepreneur. His name was Ken Olsen. His company was Digital Equipment Corporation. And together, they changed everything about computers. The story of Ken Olsen and digital begins about 60 years ago, when few people had ever heard of computers.
Now, Edward R. Murrow.
These are days of mechanical and electronic marvels. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology has developed a new one for the Navy. It's a Whirlwind electronic computer.
Designed with military applications in mind and equipped with a video display, keyboard, and light pin, Whirlwind was the first computer to interact with humans in real time.
I assume that, like any delicate, finely tuned piece of mechanism, this has a human element involved, too, has it?
Yes, Mr. Morrow. I am J. Forrest, Director of the Digital Computer Laboratory where Whirlwind was built.
The Whirlwind computer was built primarily by graduate students who had appointments as research assistants, most of whom had come back after serving in the military. And Ken Olsen was one of those.
Ken Olsen had served in the U.S. Navy during World War II as a technician servicing radar. His interest in electronics had arisen from his childhood experiments with radio.
I would say the most important room in the house was the basement. It was just one big workshop, and we'd be there all the time working on something.
So it was only natural that after the war, Olsen would begin formal studies at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
When I walked into the computer laboratory, it was like a neophyte walking into a religious order. They had ideas that were almost religious in their fervor.
He earned a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, and after entering a master's program, was tapped by Jay Forrester to work on the Whirlwind computer.
Whirlwind was probably the first personal computer. It was a big one.
A major reason for Whirlwind's large size was that it used electrostatic vacuum tubes for memory. These tubes cost MIT about $32,000 a month. At this rate, today's monthly smart cell phone bill would be $60 million. Replacing the tubes with inexpensive magnetic core memory was the answer, but there was no way to be sure the new memory would work. Ken Olsen had a radical idea.
He decided they could build a full-scale computer out of our test equipment. I think the story is that I opposed it. I did not think they could, but gave them freedom to try, and they did in fact build what was called the memory test computer, which was a genuine general-purpose digital computer built around the magnetic core memory.
Olsen's new computer proved magnetic core memory would work. It was just in time for a new and critical task for Whirlwind.
One of the most dangerous threats to our nation's security is the possibility of attack by high-speed enemy bombers armed with nuclear weapons. The Air Force called in the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Of particular value was the use made of an already existing electronic computer, Whirlwind 1.
A series of Whirlwind computers were to be linked to radar stations across North America to track and identify incoming aircraft and guide interceptors to destroy the targets. In all, 46 computers would have to be manufactured.
We chose IBM to make the computers, and so a lot of the design was done in cooperation with IBM.
IBM was the largest computer manufacturer in the world and well known for its rigid corporate culture. Forrester selected Ken Olsen as a liaison from MIT. Ken later said it was like going to a communist state.